Hey there everybody, hope your day's going well. It's your carrot old school gaming here, and welcome back to another Wild Wednesday. This time dealing with more of the, I guess, Pokemon anime, because Crystal Onix, I believe, is only there. I've looked through all of 2nd Gen. There's no Crystal Onix as far as I know, and as far as I know, there's no Crystal Onix in any of the games, period. Unless there is. I don't know. I think it's just in that Orange Islands, filler season. But I could be wrong. And Pokemon Theory, what is Crystal Onix? I don't know. Maybe some kind of variation on a shiny version of Onix. I'm not sure what shiny Onix even looks like, but yeah, like I said, I don't know, but I got 5.5 minutes to, well, at least talk about it, so yeah, let's get into ProtoMario's video.
Hello, and welcome back, YouTubers. I'm ProtoMario, and today's Pokemon Theory is over the Crystal Onix. Now, I usually don't do anime theories, and this is exclusive to the anime, but it was requested that I do it, so I'm gonna make it short and sweet.
Well, hey, it sounds good to me, and yeah, like I was kind of thinking, just, I guess it is exclusive to the anime, but hell, I'm more than happy to do, anime theories. Well, okay, I suppose that, Pokemon's kind of been an exception, because you have done a few, Pokemon, or, well, I guess the Pokemon theories kind of, bled through into the anime, but yeah, this one is just the anime, so, okay. At least there's no Crystal Onix I have to worry about looking out for in any generation, as far as I know. Who knows, by the time your video came out, and then all the Pokemon games that have come out since, who knows, maybe there is a Crystal Onix somewhere. But, okay, so we're looking at just the anime, which is that one glass-blowing episode. Let's see what the whole theory is about.
So, the Crystal Onix is a special Onix with a body made completely out of glass crystal. The Crystal Onix's first and only appearance is in one anime episode, quote, the Crystal Onix. Pretty easy to find, yeah. Ash and his friends first heard of it through a note that they found in a bottle floating in the ocean. And apparently they went and helped someone find inspiration to make glass figurines of Pokemon, so apparently he was not inspired enough to make glass crystal figures without seeing this creature.
Right, yeah, because he was having, a really hard time just, like you said, being inspired to make a glass Pokemon. And it was more like the experience of seeing Crystal Onix that gave him inspiration. I don't remember anything about, a message in a bottle type of thing, but because, the glass blower, he is, owning a glass blowing shop that makes, almost well, not almost, definitely realistic, Pokemon, and it was, handed down from his grandfather. His grandfather was the one who first encountered the Crystal Onix and made such, wonderful statues made out of glass. And, well, he wanted to follow in his grandpa's footsteps, but it was more than just hearing the story of seeing Crystal Onix. He needed to experience it for himself. And then he was inspired. But, okay, I suppose it doesn't really answer the question of, what is Crystal Onix? I don't know, let's, hopefully things go, hopefully we can find out before the end.
Plot lines aside, the Crystal Onix is special and unique in its ability in the fact that it can live in water without being hurt. Moreover, the Crystal Onix can use rock and normal type attacks such as tackle and rock throw, making it at least a rock type. So, it may or may not be a rock type, but one thing's for sure, it can use rock moves.
Well, yeah, I mean there are Pokemon that learn moves that are outside of their typing, which can help diversify. So that way they just that way they can kind of counteract something that would, like another Pokemon type that would be super effective against them. A water Pokemon versus an electric type, yeah, or a grass type. Maybe it knows like a. I don't know if any water Pokemon can actually learn a fire type move or. Well, like the Goldeen. Goldeen. Okay, so Goldeen is a water type facing off against a random grass type. Goldeen would be a disadvantage, but Goldeen does learn the move Peck, which is technically a flying type move, and super effective against grass. So then Goldeen has a higher chance of being able to win, even against a grass type that would be super effective against it. Maybe not an electric type, but I mean, the point stands that sometimes Pokemon learn outside their normal moveset. And like this Crystal Onix, like I said, I do not know what the shiny version of Onix is, but maybe it's a variation on the shiny that allows it to use like the same moveset as Onix, but have different resistances instead of weaknesses, or immunities instead of weaknesses. Yeah, because it was I think it was like Tracy's Meryl wanted to try to use a water gun on it and just like washed right off. Onix didn't even care at all. But then it was like uh, someone's Pokemon. I'm not sure if it was Charizard or something else, but someone used the flamethrower on it, and that was super effective. Whereas on a normal Onix, because of the rock typing, would be resistant to it. So, yeah. yeah. The point is, like, okay, sometimes Pokemon will learn things outside of their own learn sets in order to like be diversified and be able to fight against something that would normally be super effective against them.
So, the thing about it is, when they attempted to use water type attacks on it, it was resistant to those type attacks, and the person trying to capture it ended up having to use a Charmeleon and use Fire Spin on it. Fire Spin and fire attacks weakened it, so that would make it something akin to an Ice or Steel type.
Okay. Now I kind of see what you're going for. Like, what is this Crystal? What is Crystal Onyx's typing? Now I understand. And yeah, okay. So it was Charmeleon. The glass blower's Charmeleon, like his glass blowing partner. Right, I forgot about that. But okay. So now I see what you're going at. Like, so this Crystal Onyx could be like more than a shiny looking Pokemon, like a full, complete different variation on the Onix, where it's uh where its typing has completely changed, more than just like the visual of it, and it has like a bunch of sparkly glitter around it every time it appears or comes out of the Pokeball. It's a completely different typing than normal. Okay, that's that is interesting, but I don't know. Huh. I, well, I suppose we're only 2 minutes in out of the 5.5 minutes, so let's see what else there is here before I end up saying something that you say anyway.
Now, to understand a little bit better, what is crystal? Crystal is a sort of material that is found in a lot of raw materials like steel, iron, and of course it can be something as simple as coffee or salt. The crystal we are trying to discuss here is not exactly 100% identified, other than the fact that it is, quote, glass crystal. Now, to create glass and to create crystal, it requires an extensive amount of pressure to be put onto it to create the crystal with a certain amount of heat and things of that nature.
Okay, so it wouldn't be like a consumable type of crystal. It'd be more like a jewelry type of crystal. Is that what we're going for? Because I mean that would make sense, huh? Interesting, but I mean, hell, let's keep going. Let's keep thinking, because I honestly don't know where you're going with this line of thought, but I'm here for it.
To create glass, it requires a certain amount of heat and sand melding together. So, my guess is that when an onyx was being created, it went through a metamorphosis mutation, making it glass crystal instead of rock, made of rocky materials. Though later on it is mentioned in several Pokedex entries about the regular onyx that as it grows, the stone portions of its body harden to become similar to a diamond, but colored black.
Yes. I've well, kind of glanced over certain other Pokedex entries from other generations. See, second gen, because I'm going through. Yeah. Everyone traded for that one Onix in Violet City. Yeah. Okay. So maybe this is. Maybe this is like a variation on the diamond, because so we are talking about the anime, and Brock's Onix, he does take the time to polish it, so every so often, or every week or something. There's that one episode where Brock was super sick, and scrubbing down Onix took a while, and polishing it. Maybe someone used a different type of polishing on their Onix, and it turned out instead of a rock Onix, it became a crystal Onix, because of maybe they created their own polish, and then that happened. Or maybe just using a certain type of polish over and over and over again, it becomes crystal instead of rock. Or hell, maybe it's a wild Onix that went through so many battles that it just became crystal or something. Yeah, maybe something like that. I honestly don't know where I'm going with this, but I mean, hell, I just wanted to interrupt real quick and talk about the Pokedex entry does talk about how the different sections become hard as diamond as it becomes stronger, and now this crystal Onix is almost like crystallized diamond type of thing.
So, the facts. What we know, Crystal Onix is a unique creature indigenous only to the anime. The Crystal Onix has no known gender, no known abilities, and the only location that it's been seen is the Sunburst Island. It was not caught, and the only appearance is in that episode, unfortunately. There's very little information known about it, but we do know some key facts. The Crystal Onix can be hurt by fire-type moves and resist water-type moves. Steel types don't resist water-type moves, so he must be some sort of a water-steel type Pokemon. But then again, fire would make the steel melt, but water would resist it. So it would have a neutral effect. At least it would affect him.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, yeah, because water types would resist the water typing, and then steel, I don't know off the top of my head, but steel does seem fairly powerful, even if I don't have any steel type Pokemon yet. Maybe when the water gun actually hit Crystal Onix, it did affect it, but because maybe the Onix was so powerful, maybe it was maybe it did affect the Onix, but it was just one of those hits that's just wow, you did 2 hit points of damage. Whatever, dude. Maybe it was something like that, and it's just maybe it did affect, but it was such a weak hit because of the typing that it was just from an outside perspective, it just looked like that had zero effect at all, especially in the anime where they don't have displays of the opposing Pokemon's hit points or anything like that.
Weaken him. So that would mean he has to be a steel water type to be able to mess around in water so easily and resist the attacks, but still be made out of glass. And there are certain steels that look like glass and work like glass being melded down. So in conclusion, the Crystal Onix is a unique steel water type Onix that was formed by massive pressure and fires within the earth as he was tunneling around, more or less. I really don't have much else to say. That's about all the facts, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this Pokemon theory. I'm ProtoMario, and I'm signing out, and I hope you guys stick around to see my other Pokemon theories.
Okay, interesting. I can definitely see where you're going with that, and yeah, that definitely does make sense, because, you know, it being, like, a variation of a steel type, because different steels can, like, look like crystal or glass under, like, certain light, certain circumstances, and it may even feel like it. I mean, hell, it's not just steel, but there's actually a lot of different materials that feel like something else in your hand. It's just like, wow, is this plastic? No, that's glass. What? Or is this glass? No, it's plastic. What the hell is going on? yeah, but okay, I can definitely see that. Like a steel water type, it would. And like I said, maybe the water gun did affect it, but from an outside perspective, Onix was just like, that did nothing to me. Let me attack you back, and then being hit by the glass blower's Charmeleon with what, fire or flamethrower or whatever the hell Charmeleon used. It's been a long time since I've seen that episode, but yeah, maybe there was something along the lines of that where it's just like Onix is just, what the hell? Was that supposed to be an attack? Bite me. Anyway, yeah. So, honestly, maybe it's like a variation on the evolution of Onix, because technically, the Orange Islands definitely crept into 2nd gen. I mean, it sucked a lot to 1st gen, but maybe it was, like, starting to creep into 2nd gen, just like, oh, hey, blah, 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 here's some extra Pokemon, more than just Meryl. I don't remember if there were any other 2nd gen Pokemon in the Orange Islands. Yeah, but like, the point I'm getting to, maybe it's, because, like, in order for Onix to evolve into Steelix, it needs the, it needs to, have the, like, the iron coat, I want to say? Is it the iron coat, or is it something else? I'm pretty sure it's the iron coat, where it's just like, oh, hey, there's, like, you know, trade Onix with the iron coat, or whatever it is, and then evolves into Steelix. Maybe this Crystal Onix is just, like, a different version, maybe an undiscovered item that allows it to evolve into, like, into this, and I don't think Crystal's even a typing in Pokemon at all. But if Crystal ever does become a typing, maybe they can actually bring back Crystal Onix. And maybe they can eventually, one day, although I highly doubt it, maybe one day they can eventually reveal what the hell's inside the GS ball. Or maybe it was just like, maybe it's just nothing. Like, at least answer the damn question. Anyway, that's a different rant for another day. I've got to get this edited together, and yeah, I'm actually kind of in a rush, so I've got to wrap this up quickly, get on to the next 2 Thoughtful Thursdays, and then move on from there. Hopefully things don't get too interrupted or screwed up or whatever. Yeah, I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't hit that bell so you can always be notified whenever I upload another video, and as always, have fun.